Hello, welcome to Retro Toy Princess. I'm Allison Troy. Today we are going to be looking at a vintage item from Craftmaster, which was a division of General Mills and a sister company to Kenner back in the 1980s that specialized in craft-based items. And this is one of the many strawberry shortcake items that they released during this time frame. This was not an item that I had as a child. It is one that I wanted, but it was a little bit more expensive. Original value back in the day was $2.97, which was a whole action figure. And pretty much all I would get every week. I was able to get one toy a week. And at the point this came out, which would have been like 1981, 82, $3 was the limit. So it was either a toy or this. So I went with the toy. And then later in life, found this on eBay. The box itself is a little bit beat up, but the actual item is in good condition. And the back of the box shows everything included, as well as how to use the family portrait inside, as well as some of the other products available from Craftmasters for Strawberry Shortcake. I did have some of these items as a kid, and I have picked up a few of these now as an adult. There is a video here on the channel of this postcard set, so that will be in the Craftmaster playlist at the end of the video. The other items, eventually I do plan on doing videos on my other Strawberry Shortcake Craftmaster items, as well as some of my Star Wars Craftmaster items. Alright, so now we're going to open it up and take a look at it. Alright, the vintage item came with 4 acrylic paints, are of course long since dried out because they are 40 years old. It included a paintbrush, a thank you card, all Strawberry Shortcake items at this point in time. All Strawberry Shortcake items at this point in time did include one of these thank you cards. Since she was originally created by American Greetings, it is very much in line with her origins. And then this is the cardboard for the back, as well as the adhesive stick so that this will stick to the back. There is then this piece of cardboard, pink with the various numbers that correspond to the paints. So you can do paint by numbers. And as you can see, it's got the purple pie man, Strawberry Shortcake, and Huckleberry Pie sharing a sundae. At this point in the franchise, Strawberry Shortcake and Huckleberry Pie were still presented as having crushes on each other. It is an element that was mostly dropped later on, as it would seem test audiences, as it would appear that Strawberry Shortcake fans didn't enjoy the romantic angle, which kind of makes sense because the target demographic for this was, 3 to 8-year-olds. At that point, most kids are not thinking about romance. It also has lemon meringue, and then blueberry muffin and custard. It's on pink cardboard. And as you can see, there's sort of the guide as to what it should look like, and then the numbers correspond to the paints. I am not going to paint on this or even color directly on this, even though my pencils would probably work really well on this cardboard, as would alcohol markers or even my acrylic paint pens. Instead, I have scanned it and printed it on a page, and I'm going to color this so that way I can retain this as a vintage item. Not necessarily that I plan to resell it, but to preserve the history of it, it would be nice to have it uncolored so that it exists in its original mint form. The box is, of course, beat up, but it's less about the box and more about the item in the box, at least for me. All right, I am going to, through the magic of editing, we'll start coloring this.